Hello there, and welcome into this video where I will be doing an intuitive oracle reading around the protests that are taking place in Los Angeles and the federal government White House response to this. I will be going into the energies that are here on this land, which I am on, from within Los Angeles County and the greater stories of Los Angeles, of these energies that have been really coming through very strongly with 2025. So my intention is to hopefully bring some clarity to this, to share with you some, even starting with facts of what is actually taking place here compared to what you are seeing on the news. The sensational stories, the drama, and actual reality here. So I'm going to hope to disseminate and to share some of that from someone who is living here. And know as well that there's a couple themes to this. One is we've absolutely been in a very fluid, shifting timeline these past few days. This started on Friday, June 6th, and I'm filming this today on, oh my gosh, I don't even know what day it is. It's Tuesday. On Tuesday, June 10th. So it's been a very fluid, shifting energy, and I'll bring in some of that as well. So this, we have not been on a set timeline. So there's been that element to it, as well as I am going to be speaking about the Los Angeles protests. But even as I was tuning in, if I should do this video, I could feel the branching threads and pathways that are connected to Los Angeles. And I'm already seeing it. We are already seeing it. There's protests all over the country that are now coming together and springing up, as well as even different counties within Southern California. Orange County, I saw, just had a protest, this rising up of the community against ICE and the ICE raids, which I will share with you all of that means. But I just wanted to give you some foundation and framework for what I'm working with and what I am tuning into. And if you are new to this channel, my name is Chrissy Whistler. I am an evolutionary astrologer, which means we are going to go very deep into the human psyche, the human consciousness, and our journey of evolution. So, love, light, and flowers, it's not your place. Although, again, my intention is always to bring you hope. And then, of course, I'm also an intuitive, which is why I'm going to be doing these readings and channeling the messages that are coming through. So if you are struggling right now, do please reach out. I offer intuitive readings as well as birth chart readings. You can find all that on my website at chrissywhistler.com. And truly, I am here in service to support you. And if you do find this helpful, please like this video and share it. You know, again, to break the narrative that's being peddled right now. And I'm really grateful that you are here, that you are curious about some of what's really going on. And I say, again, I am only one person. Do I have my biases? Absolutely. And I will be standing up for democracy, for human rights, whether you are documented or not. I truly believe that. And I believe in states' rights as well, which was trampled over during this. So this is where I'm coming from. And again, I'll let you decide if I'm the right reader for you or not. But I will be doing my best as a human to be that open channel for the information that's coming through, as well as the need to stand up when it's called for, while also anchoring into love and compassion. So, if you are not aware of what is actually happening, first off, if you do want to know more details, I really encourage you to look for press conferences, not the news stories. Go find a really boring press conference where you get all of the details and numbers and facts and responses. If you want to know what's happening within the local response, go listen to the local leaders, the local leadership. And I also encourage you to find videos of people who are actually on the ground and what their experience has been. This has largely been a very peaceful protest. Is there violence? Yes. Usually that's a very small group of individuals, and it's happening at night. At least it is now. So go find those sources if you would like to really know what's going on. But basically, last Thursday, Los Angeles was completely peaceful. It was just another day in the city. Come Friday, we started to have, at least what I have heard, there were 5 different raids by ICE. ICE is the immigration. They're the ones that come in to find the undocumented people who are here illegally. Now, we were told as Americans that ICE would be going after the violent criminals, the people with violent criminal backgrounds, drug dealers, and so forth. This is what was sold and told to the American population. This is not what is actually happening. The raids that have been taking place for several months now, going to people's place of work and arresting them and detaining them. There have been incidents of ICE, as well as not actually showing their credentials, but lying about who they are, going to our elementary schools to do welfare checks on children who were even 6 years old. I ask you, is that a violent criminal? Is a 6-year-old a drug dealer, a murderer, a rapist? And even in my community, we had a 10-year-old who went with his father to Texas for a routine immigration procedure, meaning they were here legally and they're doing the things they need to do to continue to stay here legally. And they were detained and separated. And many of these people who are being detained, especially right now in Los Angeles, are not being given proper, what's the right word? Legal representation. Lawyers, they're not able to contact lawyers. They're not able to contact their family members. Even our lawmakers who have a lawful right to go into these detention areas to inspect are being denied to do that. So these raids that happened, again, apologies for this backdrop before I can even get to the reading, because you need to know what's actually going on here. These ICE raids, who said they're going after the violent criminals, right? They were going to places of work, to places of school. A big one was Home Depot. If you're not in the United States, you have no idea what that is. Home Depot is this big, giant store where you're going to get your woodworking, your plumber equipment, these things that you use around construction, this kind of thing. You can go to the parking lot of Home Depot and hire day laborers to help you do the projects that are really hard to do, you know, that intensive physical labor. You can go there and you can hire them. These people are just trying to survive. And ICE went in and started raiding. This caused a great deal of upset in the community because these are their neighbors, their friends, their family. This act is not justified to that level of degree in violence where you have people pulling up in these unmarked cars wearing face masks and camo in tactical gear, pulling people out of their car and whisking them away. And people watching have no idea what just happened because these agents are not identifying themselves. And this has been going on for months. And this Friday, or this past Friday, people rose up and they said no. All of the city officials, even around Los Angeles County, they do not know when and where these raids are going to occur. It's completely in control of the government, as it should be. So keep that in mind as well, as our actual local law enforcement has no idea when this is going to happen. And that's pretty much what happened, is they had no idea the response. I'm hearing powder keg. It's not necessarily something I want to use because it incites this act of violence. Like, that's almost like part of one of those timelines I was talking about. There is this energy coming in of violence, a desire to create a riot, to bring in what's actually wanted is a reason for an insurrection. So that energy has been very prominent here on the lands which I am on, and I'm sure if you are watching and you're seeing these facts and that are playing out, that you're like, yeah, I'm picking up on that too. So what ended up happening is Donald Trump stepped in and ordered the National Guard to be federalized. And the way he actually did it, we have very specific laws and rules, and he did not follow those in the way that he needed to make that lawful. Now, the National Guard is usually what happens is the mayor of Los Angeles would be like, hey, we need more help. Our police and the mutual aid of all the police from the 88 cities around us cannot handle this. We need more help. She sends that up to the governor of California, Governor Newsom, and from there he would request that federal assistance to nationalize, to call on the National Guard. That did not happen. Donald Trump came in and said, I'm taking it over. I'm taking control away from the city. I'm taking control away from the state, when it was not needed. So 2,000 National Guards have come in. This, again, has increased the energy and the tension, the fear that people in these communities are feeling. So there is this panic, there's this rising desperation. This is very much as well tied into the astrology. Jupiter has just entered into Cancer, which is, are we safe? Do we have that safe space where we can feel our emotions? Jupiter in Cancer, along with Mercury, are currently square to the moon's nodes, as well as squaring to Saturn and Neptune. And what that means is, no, there is not this feeling of feeling safe. And there is that pushing for the militarization. Saturn and Aries, low octave Saturn and Aries. I'm going to come in. I'm going to, bringing in the Jupiter energy, I'm going to do whatever it is that I want to do. What I believe in, my ideology, and who cares about what anyone else has to say. This is some of the dynamics that are at play, as well as the full moon in Sagittarius, ruled by that Jupiter in Cancer. It's taking place tomorrow on June 11th. So there's big energies that we are in, you guys. And this is happening on the Aries point, the world stage. Of course it is. All right. Let me see, what else can I give you? Just, all right. Federal troops, National Guard sent in. They are only allowed to guard federal buildings and federal employees, federal agents. So they are basically standing around 2 buildings, 2. And everything you're watching on the news is really taking place within just a 5-block radius. 5 blocks. They're big blocks. But go look at the scope of Los Angeles and you're going to see this story of being overrun by migrants, and there's an insurrection in the city of Los Angeles and lost control. And you're going to see the deception. And that lie is just going to break away. And of course, our media is playing into that, because everybody loves a good violent story, right? So in addition, all right, now the governor of California is suing the administration for this unlawful deployment. Donald Trump has now sent in is requesting an additional 2,000 National Guards to stand guard over 2 federal buildings, and has now deployed 700 U.S. Marines. This is peaceful protesting. Some violence is happening, yes. Those people who are doing that are not actually protesting for the immigrants and the migrants. Okay. U.S. Marines are being sent in to stand against United States citizens, people that they've been sworn to protect against the law and the will of the state of California and the city of Los Angeles. So, I will say this morning when I woke up, the energy had greatly shifted. Last night, again, it's almost like I can feel these timelines wanting to come in, this oppression, this militaristic domination, and it kind of like an invasive species of plants that can spread really quickly. Like it's a very that kind of energy wanting to come in and take a strong, firm foothold. But what's happened is the people of the city are not allowing that narrative to settle in. When you go and you look at people on the streets, I'm not there. I can't do protests. It would overwhelm my system. So I'm hoping that doing things like this, the energy work, the calling for prayers, this is my role. So just know that I'm not physically within that 5-block radius. It's not where I'm meant to be. And I need to think about what's best for my family and my life situation. And I actually encourage you to do the same for yourself. We all need to make those choices and find other ways where we can stand. So watching the videos of people I do know and trust who are there and seeing people marching and singing in the streets, like, you know, there's a different narrative, there's a different energy that's being held, even as there is that anger and violence from a few people who are causing the disruption. The energy this morning was very different, and it wasn't as fearful. It was almost like the lie was starting to shed. It was like coming apart at the seams. Although there is still very much potential of these other timelines and narratives that can be sparked. And that's part of what I'm feeling with these Marines being called in, is they're there for the spark of the violence. If it does happen. And part of my intention again with this video and this sharing is to be some of those voices and to call on you as well to bring your prayers and your intentions, your heart, not only to Los Angeles, but to, again, like all of where this would spread if it was allowed, this violence, this control, this militaristic domination, military state. Like, we are rising to say, hell no, not on my watch. And I felt that shift this morning, and I will continue to hold that energy, and please join me on that. Okay, I feel like I've given you a whole bunch of backdrop, so let's actually start pulling some cards and see what's coming up. All right, so this first deck that I'm going to use is the, what is this even called? The secret language of darkness. All right, so again, I'm just welcoming in spirit, welcoming the grandmothers, the net of light to hold all of us. Calling in as well the lands of Los Angeles County that I'm on, that I am from. This is my home, and welcoming in as well these sacred, ancient guardians and caretakers of these lands, the Tongva Gabrielino people. I'm also hearing as well, and this was a message that was coming through, is we are all immigrants here. Unless you are native, unless you are indigenous, you are an immigrant in the United States. And we need to remember that. I was born in California. My parents came from Ohio. Their parents, you know, their grandparents. Like, they did not exist on this land until the early 1900s. We are immigrants, and we need to remember that these people, they are us. They are us. And just to bring in as well, today in the White World Bridger wave spell in the Galactic Mayan calendar, this energy, this 13 days is all about bridging worlds. It's about death and surrender and letting go. Today is the white cosmic mirror. There is this invitation of connecting into this divine cosmos, this divine orchestration at play to help us to see ourselves in the other. Allow the other person to be the mirror back into your soul. Can you do that? So it's curious. This first card that I got, I'll show it to you in a minute, is Dream Work. Messages from the unconscious. Part of what I was really feeling last night is this energy that's rising, and you can see it here in this card. The chakras, this kundalini energy that's rising up from within us, that's connecting into this divine story and power. Get my I really feel a message coming through with this. This is about anchoring in the dream. And what dream will you allow to take hold? Again, there's all these conflicting narratives. There's these conflicting stories. And you have a choice. And I can feel like this is a call for all of us right now, is what dream or what timeline are you going to anchor into? If you are watching news that's perpetuating the story of riots and insurrection, that is exactly the energy that you are creating through the power of your intention. What dreams are you wanting to call in? It's really curious. This messages from the unconscious. This is what I'm feeling with the mirror, the white cosmic mirror energy. This seeing ourselves in the other. The reason we have relationships, people in our life, is because they are reflecting back to us our unconscious. So another thread of this, right, this has to do with the timelines, the different timelines, the one that the administration through these violent acts is calling forward, trying to. Where do slivers of that exist within you that you are holding in your own unconscious? Because We have been all of those things. And that is what we need to see. Almost like it's like clearing out those unconscious stories so we can really narrow in on the true dream, this dream of our heart of hearts. And I'm just asking, like, what is this having to do with Los Angeles? It's with Los Angeles, the protests, and it goes beyond. Again, it's like this is just the tip of the iceberg. It's like a drop, a spark that goes far beyond this here now moment in time is what I'm really hearing. It's much deeper, much further than just the protests and the rising up of the community and the control of the administration. And curiously, on the bottom of the deck, we have judgment. When all sides are equal, the path of liberated wisdom appears. The reason I'm so emotional is because it's what it's all about, isn't it? All sides are not equal. They're not. Unless you at the top 1%, it's not equal. And this is really important to see at this white mirror day, this energy that's just embedded in this reading, but it's also about this full moon in Jupiter. The sun is in Gemini. Jupiter and Gemini are conjunct right now. We need to see through our own biases and to see the many different sides, the many different stories that people are living. And that includes people you don't agree with. A need to put yourself in someone else's shoes and to truly listen to them. And listening is the very thing that's not happening right now, even as Donald Trump has come in and sending 700 Marines to guard 2 buildings. Not listening to the people, not listening to the mayor who is asking for no more raids that is causing such disruption and trauma and pain to the community. And these people, they're rising up because they're afraid, because it's not equal. Okay. Let's keep pulling some cards and seeing what else we get. Okay, what is the intention? I want to know what the intention is for this energy of control, this militaristic choice being made against the will of the people. What is behind this? Please, Spirit. Ooh, that one, okay. Home. There is a different version, idea of home, that a different view of what home is. And this home is not including the people who are different. There is an inequality of home. Okay, can you get a little bit more clarity as well on home? What else? I know there's a desire to create home. How interesting. We have a card of alchemy. On the bottom of the deck. Entrapment. Yeah, that's and pride. Well, that I can just keep pulling from the bottom of the deck. What do you guys think? Faith. I am 1000% dreams. Faith and dreams. Okay. Jesus. Wow. Talk about spirit speaking. I can just keep going. Get the whole deck out of here. All right, so that's gonna fall off. Yeah, so there is an orchestration. That's some of the driving energy that I was picking up on in this different timeline. There is a desire of creating home in a new way. This is my version of home. I don't care if it's not your version of home. This is what home truly is, what it should look like. It should not include these migrants, these people who are brown, these people who are from Mexico. They, again, they are the aliens, the illegal aliens. This is part of that home distortion story. And this is also low octave Jupiter that I'm speaking of, is there's only one belief, one God, one way of doing things. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to pulverize everything in my wake to get to this truth and idea that I have of home, and leaving complete destruction and pain and suffering in its wake. That is this energy of Jupiter when he's in the crusader energy. And yes, there is a desire, this energy that I'm speaking of from the administration, of alchemizing this situation to get that version of home. They're trying to create it, trying to entrap the city, the people. But again, this is going beyond Los Angeles to the greater, larger community. I'm even feeling more than just the United States. It's trying to entrap us in the distorted dreams that aren't true. Like, they're trying to entrap us in this timeline. The driving force behind it has to do with pride. This doesn't surprise me. With the energy that Donald Trump holds and how he continues to act, it's the distorted masculine. When it gets so unhinged, the pride is so deeply wounded, you can't help but keep doubling down. It doesn't matter if the hole just gets bigger and bigger. You can't. The pride, the wound of pride will not allow to rescind, to to repair, to shift onto a new path. And I'm feeling this is not just with Donald Trump alone. There are many actors in play. Tom Hallman, who called for the arrest of our governor, who actually doesn't have the authority to do that. He's actually had to do some backpedaling of, oh no, I really didn't say that. I really didn't mean it that way. And yet him saying that is given the president some leeway of saying arrest the governor, because he's not directly saying it. He's kind of piggybacking off this other guy. But this is kind of what I mean about this. There's a story of pride in the way. And absolutely love this. And I love the have faith and the dreams. Again, there's the energy of dreams coming through. Is don't let this distortion, this story, this false story of what our country is, don't let it take hold. Again, there's this strong sense of being held. 22 as well is that angel number of faith. We are being deeply held by the divine at this time. Okay. Okay, let's go with this deck. What is being called? Called for the community, for the people who are watching, people who are wanting to act. What else can we say about that? The people here and this distorted version of home. Forgiveness. Yes, be angry. Yes, stand up. And also heart chakra, really connecting into love and compassion. And can we forgive? Can we hold that energy of forgiveness, even with everything else that we're feeling, to what is being committed and done? That, I'm not saying that's easy, and I'm not saying bypass any of your righteous anger and wrath. But this is a powerful, powerful energy. You want to talk about alchemy? Forgiveness. Forgiveness 1,000% will turn this bullshit into what's coming next. This. So where can forgiveness hold in your heart? What else for the people? Call on Mother Earth. Our Earth Mother is here and she's holding us right now. I am presence. Again, this is the divine. This is the divine coming through. We have straight from the earth, Earth Mother, and then we have this connection with the divine. It's like being held from both ends. We're not alone. Whew. Yeah, I'm feeling that very strongly. Let me tune into that message. You are not alone. Even though it may feel like you are. Even though you may feel like all the stories and the narratives are against you. You are not. You are far greater than you know. This is a returning to the I am. This deep truth of who we are. Okay, I'm feeling some Aries astrology energy. Let's see what else that has to say. There's more in that message. Let's see what it is. Okay. No, not that one just yet. Okay. There's something in this deck. What else? To help guide the people watching at this time. We have the card of bravery and oceans. This is about standing up. This is about going against what you may believe in. That rising up of beliefs, ideologies, and to walk a new way, this balance that she's having to do as she finds a new path, a new way forward. It's, gosh, so beautiful. It's like she's being divinely guided by her own light within. And she's going with that flow. The ocean, water is the feminine, is the divine feminine. And we're all being called to rise up into that and to follow that. We have joy with music. And it just reminded me of some of the videos that I saw with people, gosh, what are those called? Those little shakers. And they're just singing and they're shaking and they're playing music and they're singing. This is some of the protests that are happening, and there is this bringing back joy in, even as all of this is happening. So, and that's one of the questions I had as well with this reading is, how can people stay safe to feel their emotions when there's so much chaos that's happening in our world? And to rise up from the chaos and the distortions, it is joy. Joy is one of the ways that we're going to do that. Forgiveness is one of the ways that we're going to do it. It's this rising up into our own I am presence, our own internal guidance is that way forward. And on the bottom of the deck, we have fire and ignition. And this feels like those alternate timelines where there is, again, someone is trying to stoke a fire, to ignite a wildfire, I'm hearing, that will spread throughout the United States. But this ignition is not only about destruction. This is the choice point. What dream do we want to awaken, to focus on? The destruction or the fire of passion? The fire that wakes us up from our own sleepiness. The fire, the righteous anger that says no more. All right, now let's pull some astrology cards and see what we get. What else for guidance for Los Angeles? These protests. The energy here, what do we need to know? What do we need to know? We have Jupiter. Jupiter with the abundance card. Jupiter now in Cancer. Can you close the door, please?
Yeah.
Thank you. And 7. I'm feeling that divine number with 7. All right, so Jupiter's our way forward, guys. Feelings, emotion, leaning into viewpoints that are different from your own. All right, what else? What other guidance for us at this time in Los Angeles? No, I just not feeling this deck anymore. Okay. Or maybe I just needed to see this card. Scorpio transformation. Yes, we are definitely being transformed right now. Okay, what else? There's so many energies coming in. I'm trying to just focus on one. What guidance for the people of Los Angeles, the people watching? What do they need to know? Again, the energy of Scorpio, 8th house, endings, beginnings. Leo, I will. Okay. On the bottom of the deck, we have a yod with destiny. Solar eclipse, revolution. Well, yeah. I feel that in some way what's happening here in Los Angeles is a choice point. And it is an ending and a new beginning. We see that with both of these cards. There is a necessary transformation, something that's being completed. We're going to really feel that at the Jupiter full moon tomorrow. Full moons are completions. Completion of a cycle, an illumination of something that's done. Solar eclipses. It's a giant new beginning. It's a crossroads where you thought you were one way and all of a sudden you're going all the way over here. That is what solar eclipses do. Oh my gosh. There's a lot of energy that's coming through. This is destined. And I feel that what's happening now with Los Angeles, it really got ignited and started with the fires. The fires that are not just about destruction. There's a purification that happens within the element of fire. It's both. We are being transformed, and this is a seed moment. What's happening in Los Angeles is a seed moment to remember who we are. Who are you? And there's a rising up of that within you. This returning back to you. Your I am, your will, your creativity. Oh my goodness. I'm saying oh my goodness because the astrology is also so potent. Mars, who is ruling Neptune, where Neptune and Saturn are in Aries. Mars rules Aries. Mars is going to be at the last degrees of Leo this weekend. Let me see. Yeah. Mars will enter June 17th. Mars will entering Virgo. But before he does that, he's at the last degree of Leo. He's also in a square to Uranus. So absolutely there is Uranus, Mars squares can be very revolutionary, very ignition fiery. Uranus is an energy of revolution. It is standing up against the structures and the institutions. So that is absolutely a potential for this weekend, this energy just alone. But that's also, it feels like a timeline choice. That is an energy and a direction that we can go in, but is that actually what we're really dreaming and calling forward? And this revolution could also not necessarily be destruction, overthrowing the government, fiery, although to be honest, just knowing what's coming with the astrology, that is this energy, but it doesn't necessarily need to be in that way. It is also about what I'm hearing is a revolution of consciousness and this waking up to the old paradigm and transforming out of it, this old patriarchy structure. And just that reminder, this abundance, remember that, like, and it's not just about Monday, it's about all life. Okay, I feel like there's some more to bring through, so let's go to this deck. Wow, let's add to these cards. Oh my goodness. Okay. Here's some more cards about this energy of revolution, please. What does this mean? It's an old story. That's a very old story. Those big yawns usually mean for me very, very old energies. Okay, so first card we have out is Moon. It's perception. Yeah, this full moon in Jupiter is going to be a really big one. I'm also being reminded this yod at the Cancer solstice, summer solstice that's happening on June 20th, 21st, depending on where you live in the world. There will be 3 yods that are taking place, and those are called the fingers of fate, finger of God, finger of destiny. So yeah, and again, Cancer is the moon. So this is also, I'm feeling, in tying into the summer solstice. Ooh, yeah. Okay, what else about this, please? Transits, climate. Yeah, there's these transits that I'm talking about right here. They're big. Number 55, change. Change and transformation that can even bring us that abundance as well that was being spoken of. But it's not doing it the same way. It's changing things up. Being put on a completely new trajectory is an option, is a choice point. What else with these astrologies, please, that we need to know? Whew. Okay. 10th house, authority. Yeah, this is a choice point. There's going to be a changing of our, oh my God. There's a change of how we're going to be doing government and structure going forward. And what's happening right now to Los Angeles is the seed being planted to bring us to those changes. How we have been doing government and treating people. It's going to be a journey. And yet, once again, we have a Jupiter card with abundance. So, Jupiter is in Cancer, ruled by the moon right now. Not right now, it's always ruled by the moon. We need to leave the distorted world of the patriarchy behind. The distortion of what it holds, the beliefs as well. Jupiter has to do with belief systems, our ontology, how we perceive the world is needing to change. And there is a need to return back into the emotions, the moon, the home. Oh my goodness, the home, of course. We need to change our perceptions on home, the distortion of home. We need to actually return back to what it means to be home, to be in safety, emotional security, emotional intelligence. That's where this abundance lies. It's not out here. It's not in the conquering. It's not in the overdoing. It's right here, right in our hearts. Okay, I feel like we're getting to the end of this message. I know I wanted to pull from this deck, so let's see what that's going to be. What else? Just one card, please, to add to this message for Los Angeles, for the people who are here and the people who will be touched by this. Or also as well, I'm feeling for the administration in that other timeline. Let's see what's going to come forward. What else to add? Winter's dream. Gestation period. So once again, here's something of a dream. This is a seed. This is a seed moment, absolutely. Don't let everything that's happening in the world actually distract you from the dream that you're holding on to and creating. So it's really, really important. Also just know, like, going forward with the astrology, things are going to get very, very fast paced, even more so than they are right now. With the news, with media, with truth, with perception of truth, okay? If you're constantly checking social media, checking the news, let that be a sign to you that you need to pause and step away, because there's something that you are here to dream of. And I'm hearing that includes Los Angeles, as well as there's an acknowledgement that you can't actually dream when you are in a place of not being safe. So it is both. You do need to be safe, and what is that for you? To give that to yourself, because you've got something that you're here to do. And I will be holding that dream for the city of Los Angeles, that the people here do get that space to be safe so they can dream and not being caught in this loop of trauma. We also have the vanishing mirror, ego sublimation, which just reminds me, this has to do with the pride. It's under here somewhere. This has to do with pride. This has to do with seeing our true selves. Not just about, again, the administration, but where are what they doing is within us still. Shards of that truth within us still, because we are human, and we within us exists the potential for all of it. Again, cosmic white mirror today, okay? We need to see ourselves in the mirror. And once again on the bottom, cosmic womb. We have the divine feminine. We're not alone. We are not alone. Okay. We are going to end this reading with the Christ Consciousness deck. So just probably one card, please, just to wrap up this message for the people watching. Okay. Oh gosh. We've got gratitude, appreciation, and thanks. So this is once again going back to earlier, how to, I've got cards everywhere. Here it is. How to move through this moment Where can you find joy? Where can you find the gratitude? Even if that gratitude is very, very simple. The fact that you are breathing and you are alive right here, right now, during this time of change. I love this. And on the bottom, we have the teacher. Walk the talk is what we're being asked to do right now. Christ consciousness. Walk the talk. This is about, even with everything that's happening, still holding that forgiveness in your heart and gratitude. You may not be in that space of gratitude. I have no doubt the families who are being persecuted and run down like that they are violent criminals, these children trying to be taken from schools, they're not in a place of feeling gratitude, and I completely understand that. And yet there's also this higher understanding of the moment at place. Where can we still hold that appreciation for the darkness that we are in, this dark night of the soul that we're moving through? I'm just going to feel called to read from the book with this card. One of the fastest ways to raise our emotional state and vibration is through the daily practice of gratitude. Since we all have something to be thankful for, including the life we are blessed to be given. Just skimming ahead. Practicing gratitude puts us in the present moment, since often we are racing ahead with what needs to be done, forgetting to stop and acknowledge our life happening now in this moment. Think today about what really matters to you, what you live for, and what uplifts you. Giving thanks is also a way to strengthen your faith, because when you look at what you have been given, it helps us appreciate the universe as a loving, abundant energy that wishes us well. We are taught to give Him, God, love and praise, and a main quality of this when living from Christ consciousness is to remain grateful for the unconditional love that is bestowed on us, which always forgives, provides, and never gives up on us. For that alone we are truly blessed. I hope this reading has helped you to see another perception of what is taking place here. And again, there's lower frequency energies at play. And then there's this, right? It really does come down to choosing where we are going to put our focus on, where we are going to put our dreams, and to grow them from there. So please continue to pray for Los Angeles with me, for all the people who are involved, from the people on the ground protesting as is their right, to the law enforcement individuals, like everyone. Just pray for them and holding them in light, in love, the net of light wrapping around them all, to rise up as well to a timeline where this exists as the norm. Thank you all for watching. I really do appreciate you so much. If you found this helpful, please like this video and send it to your friends. And if you would like a personal reading as well, do reach out. Thank you all so much. And I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.